They say the ocean is 95% unexplored. But what if something down there has already explored us? At 9,000 meters below the surface, where sunlight has never existed, a research vessel vanished without a trace. No explosion, no wreckage. Just one final message. It's watching us. Tonight, we descend into the abyss, not to hunt a monster, but to discover who is really hunting. Where light dies. The ocean has always been honest. It shows beauty on the surface, sunlight dancing across gentle waves. But far below, it hides truth older than humanity itself. When the research vessel Neptune 6 vanished near the Mariana Trench, the final distress signal wasn't a scream. It was a whisper. It's not a wail. It's watching us. Then silence followed the transmission, just as the abyss had swallowed the ship. Days later, investigative explorer Aaron Whale stood on the deck of the research vessel Aurora, staring at the endless Pacific horizon. He wasn't a soldier or a thrill seeker. He was calm, analytical, and known for solving mysteries in the harshest environments on Earth. His strength was not in brute force, but in clarity under pressure. And the pressure waiting below was unlike anything he had ever faced. The only clue recovered from Neptune 6 was a drift in data, a buoy containing partial video footage. The clip was shaky and distorted, taken from a deep sea submersible nearly 9,000 meters below the surface. At first, it showed nothing but black water pierced by artificial light. Then a shadow passed beneath the vessel, massive, elongated, structured, not the fluid motion of a whale or squid. This moved with precision, and when the camera titled downward, two reflective eyes stared directly back before the feed cut to static. Orion descended into the trench aboard the reinforced submersible Orion, accompanied by marine cryptobiologist Dr. Selene Kwan as the sank. Sunlight faded into deep blue, then indigo, then absolute black. Bioluminescent organisms flickered briefly like distant stars before disappearing altogether. At 6,000 meters, the world became silent and crushingly still. The submersible creaked under the immense pressure, metal protesting against forces strong enough to collapse steel like paper. Then the sonar picked up movement. Slowly, heavy, circling. The external lights revealed nothing at first, only thick darkness pressing against the glass. Suddenly, a colossal shadow drifted overhead. It was longer than a blue whale, yet narrower. Its body segmented as if armored. Along its sides, faint blue veins pulsed softly, glowing like distant lightning. Beneath black clouds, the creature did not thrash or flail. It glided. Control intentional. It was not curious. It was assessing. Orion immediately powered down the external lights. Darkness engulfed them. The sonar continued its steady pulse, and the creature circled once more before vanishing into the trench below. Neither of them spoke for several seconds. Whatever this being was, it was not acting like prey or like mindless predator. It was calculating. Back on the surface, Orion studied the fine logs from Neptune 6. The missing crew had not been attacked immediately. Their data showed prolonged sonar bursts, aggressive, high frequency mapping of the trench, loud, continuous, intrusive. Orion began to see the pattern. The creature only appeared when active, sonar intensified. It wasn't hunting ships, but it was reacting to noise, perhaps defending territory. On their second descent, they switched to passive, monitoring only. No loud sonar pings, no unnecessary electrical signals. The Orion drifted silently at 8,500 meters for several tense minutes. Nothing happened. Then a deep vibration resonated through the water. It was rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat, amplified through the miles of ocean. The creature emerged again, closer this time. The lights briefly caught its full form. Its body was plated with dark, chitin-like armor that appeared ancient and scarred. Tendrils extended from its broad head, moving slowly like sensory antennae tasting the water. Its forward-facing eyes reflect the sub's faint glow, revealing intelligence rather than instinct. This was an apex organism of an untouched world. Orion deployed a small drone away from the submersible, activating the faint electrical signature. The creature paused. Its tendrils twitched in a sudden burst of speed that defied its size. accelerated towards the drone. There was no bite, no visible strike. Instead, the surrounding water compressed violently. A pressure wave collapsed inward, crushing the drone instantly into fragments. The creature controlled pressure itself, weaponizing the very ocean around it. Inside the Orion, tension tightened like a drawn wire. If it chose to use that same force against them, escape would be impossible. Suddenly, the hull vibrated. The creature had positioned itself directly beneath the submersible. To the viewport, its bioluminescent veins illuminated the darkness with eerie blue lines. One enormous eye aligned perfectly with Aaron's. There was no rage in that gaze, only awareness. Aaron powered down all non-stational systems. The submersible dimmed until it was nearly invisible. The creature drifted upward, one tendril brushing lightly against the hull. Metal groaned as pressure subtly increased, not enough to destroy, but enough to test. It was measuring their resistance. Minutes stretched endlessly. Selene's breathing quickened, but Aaron remained perfectly still. Predators react to panic. He reminded himself. This was not an animal driven by hunger. It was an organism responding to intrusion. If they attack, it would defend. Then something unexpected happened. The creature emitted a low-frequency pulse that vibrated gently through the sub. It wasn't violent. It felt almost like a warning or communication. Aaron does not respond with sound. He kept the vessel in silent, motionless, non-threatening. Slowly, the immense shape withdrew. Its glowing veins faded into blackness. Within seconds, it vanished entirely into the trench below, leaving only silence behind. When they resurfaced, the world demanded answers. Media headlines screamed of a deep-sea monster. Military officials proposed containment strategies and advanced weaponry. Aaron stood before global cameras and delivered a different narrative. He explained that the organism was not hunting ships. It was responding to aggressive sonar and environmental disruption. It was a guardian of an ecosystem older than humanity, evolved to serve as question darkness without disturbance. There is no monster, he said quietly. Only a survivor defended its world. Privately, he raised the precise trench coordinates from the public records. Some knowledge, he believed, should be respected rather than exploited. Weeks later, Aaron received an anonymous, encrypted audio file recorded by deep ocean hydrophones. He played it in his cabin late at night. The same rhythmic pulse echoed through his speakers, slow, powerful, ancient, but this time, beneath it, there was a second sound. A smaller, higher pulse responded in pattern. He closed his eyes. It wasn't alone. Somewhere in the deepest, darkest part of the Pacific, an undiscovered species continued its silent existence, ruling a kingdom of pressure and shadow, not as monsters, not as myths, but as survivors of a world humanity barely understands. The ocean does not create evil, it creates adaptation. And sometimes the greatest act of courage is not conquering about the unknown, but choosing to leave it undisturbed. In the end, the abyss remained what it had always been, vast, silent, and watching. So, thanks for listening to my story. Doo-doo, ta-now.